Well, good morning. It's Thursday, March 20th at about 8:50 in the morning, and I'm just heading out on my morning dog walk, and it's the first day of spring. Spring came this morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning, so I thought I'd get out and do a little morning walk with the dogs and film the property now that it's mostly devoid of snow, as it obviously looks totally different than it did just a few days ago. So it's a nice time to get out and walk more easily and enjoy the spring birds. I'll talk about the birds I've been hearing as well, because quite a few have come back this week, and we'll get underway right now, I guess. So here's a view of what we call the old pond, which was the original pond that was here when we moved here. And as you can see, it's mostly open now. Yesterday morning it was 3/4 ice covered, but we had 19 degrees yesterday with southerly winds, so I guess it melted a lot of it. Nice to see, and it's quite full of water. This pond accepts a lot of drainage from several different areas, so it's filled up quite nicely. This is one of the few remaining areas of semi-deep snow that we have on the property now, I think. And it's just in a very protected area. It gets quite a bit of shading for most of the day. So a couple new birds for the year that I got this morning were Eastern Phoebe, and that bird was back in our tractor shed where they often nest. And we've got Eastern Meadowlarks out in our front field calling, so that's always nice to hear them come back. I'm never sure if they're going to keep coming back because we have a small field and they typically like larger fields, but I seem to have a few pairs that come back each year and hopefully survive and breed successfully. It's currently 11 degrees out, and it's supposed to get up to 15 today, I think, and then gradually drop overnight till it's reaching -7 centigrade tomorrow morning. So temperatures on the way down later today after the passage of another cold front, and we're going to get some showers with that cold front as well. Not a lot, but just some showers later this morning into the afternoon. It's already quite windy ahead of the front. Still southerly winds bringing in the warm air, but that'll all shift to northwest after the passage of the front. Just gonna drop off some bird seeds at the feeder outside the edge of the forest here at the back of the pit. I've been doing that all winter, and I'll keep it up for a while until the birds have a little more opportunity to get local natural food. I could stop right now, but the animals are quite used to it, and this just gives them a bit of a transition period until things start to grow and more insects get available for them to eat. Okay, it's 9 o'clock, and to this point in the hike we've got 18 species of birds. I'll just read through the list here for anyone who might be interested. Mourning dove, killdeer, red-bellied woodpecker, American kestrel, Eastern phoebe, blue jay, American crow, black-capped chickadee, European starling, American robin, American goldfinch, dark-eyed junco, song sparrow, Eastern meadowlark, red-winged blackbird, brown-headed cowbird, common grackle, and northern cardinal. And we'll see how much we end up with after about an hour and a half or so of walking out here. So as you can see, our woodland trails here are mostly bare now. Still may have a few little icy sections in the deeper, darker portions of woods, but mostly clear. So I'll probably be trying to get out in the next week or two to cut a little bit of firewood from any trees that have fallen down near the trail. There are a couple, I think, that are available now. Here's one area that I can probably get some more wood. Some of this just fell down yesterday, I think. Some of this looks new to me, and we had high winds yesterday when we were out on Wolf Island. So there's some fairly large dead beech here that hopefully I can cut, and hopefully the wood is still good. Well, we're up to 20 species now at 9:15. We added Canada goose and turkey vulture to our list. This section of our trail has become quite flooded with the spring melt. I'm not sure I can get across here. It's pretty deep. My boots aren't too high. Looks like I might make it as long as I don't flip out on this ice that's down there in the water. It's very, very slippery. I gotta just inch my way along here. I should have taken an alternate route, but I wanted to see if I could do it yet. We've been avoiding it for several days now. I'm getting through as far as the depth is concerned. It's just a couple inches below the top of my boots. That's pretty deep still. Hopefully it'll go down relatively soon. It's nice to see the higher water levels in the swamp right now. It's just this one little area that makes it a bit tricky for us to do this loop every day. So just a little bit of ice and snow in some of these darker sections of forest here. Nothing that isn't easily avoided. So just so nice to have the firm traction again under your feet instead of always slogging through deep snow or possibly sliding on ice. Now I have been wearing my ice cleats of late for the last few weeks, and they've been a great help. They just totally avoid slipping on ice as long as you wear them, and just make it so much better, because I've had several occasions where I've fallen on ice, as I'm sure a lot of people have, and you've wrenched your back or something like that, or hurt your arm or whatever, and that can go on for months. So it's a really good idea to wear those ice cleats if you're going to be frequently walking over icy areas. So it's 9:34 now, and we've reached 25 species on our bird count. We added hairy and downy woodpecker and golden crowned kinglet and brown creeper. So it's gradually moving up. The skies have become largely overcast now as this cold front approaches, and we're going to be getting showers before too long, probably just before noon or something. So I wanted to get out for sure on this early morning walk. And we still have to get through the sand pit and then do the field in the south to finish the whole hike. And it's very windy, and it seems to be getting increasingly windy, so that's limiting our birding a little bit, but the birds are still pretty active. Just had a raven fly by, so there's another one. So here's what we call our central pond in the middle of our pit, and this can sometimes have 3 or 4 feet of water in it. It does have some water in it now, just a few inches, while in the fall it had virtually no water. It was very dry. I was hoping that all the snow that was in this pit would fill all these ponds up again, but I guess the ground was just so dry because we had close to 2 feet of snow down here that's all melted now, and this is what we're left with, unless it gradually comes up as the snow melt water seeps down into the ground. But I think this is probably going to be it. But nice to have some water at least. Bandit's a true healer, always trying to nip the tail of Luna. She's not hurting her at all, she just touches the tail, and that gets a response from Luna. So here's what we call the new pond. We actually had this scoured out with a bulldozer not long after we moved here, and this can be 3 or 4 feet deep or more when it's totally full, up to this level. Now last fall this was virtually empty except for a small couple little pools down in this area that went down a few inches, and there were still a few frogs here. I tried to get most of them out of here to better places, but there were still a few frogs remaining that I couldn't get to, and I was surprised the other day I actually saw a live one here. I didn't think they'd have any chance of surviving in these tiny little pools that were left here, especially when it's been so heavily frozen all winter. But I guess some of them did somehow. It's nice to walk through the sand pit here again and hear all the song sparrows singing. Just gives a whole new feeling to life, basically, after the really dead winter that it's been through here, where you hardly hear or see anything. And now that the phoebes are back, that's always exciting, and bluebirds, and soon the tree swallows will be showing up. Hopefully they'll give it a few days yet to let things warm up a bit more. And here's the old pond, which I showed before from a higher angle. This is coming in at the normal height, and you can still see these 2 ice blocks remaining. They'll probably be gone by the end of today or shortly after. 10 o'clock now, and we just added a couple more species, American goldfinch and white-breasted nuthatch, near the house here. I'm always amazed each spring just how beautiful it is to be able to walk freely again after the winter snows have melted. Very nice. Not have to slog through stuff and slide and fall and all the rest of it. Got 4 ravens overhead playing in the wind. Okay, it's 10:28, and that basically ends our walk here this morning. In the end, we ended up with 27 species of birds. I thought the goldfinch that I added there at the end was a new one, but it wasn't. I already had one, but I added a few more of them. Anyhow, the final list is as follows: eastern phoebe, Canada goose, mourning dove, killdeer, turkey vulture, red-shouldered hawk, red-bellied woodpecker, downy woodpecker, hairy woodpecker, American kestrel, blue jay, crow, raven, black-capped chickadee, golden-crowned kinglet, white-breasted nuthatch, brown creeper, European starling, American robin, American goldfinch, dark-eyed junco, song sparrow, eastern meadowlark, red-winged blackbird, brown-headed cowbird, common grackle, and northern cardinal. So, not a bad little list. If the weather had been a bit nicer without the wind and a little sunnier and calm, I think it would have been probably a more prosperous morning, but still pretty good, and nice to hear the new birds coming in and see all the activity. So it's always a beautiful thing at this time of year. Hope you enjoyed that hike.